Good morning, everyone. I am Vishnu Ektab, and in front of all of you, I am presenting the Business Standard newspaper headline. So, first of all, Center will access personal data only in emergency. MOSIT. Next, coal mines auction liberal eligibility key criteria. Next, public credit registry. What's that? Next, fundraising by India INCC's decline in financial 23. Next, foreign equity flows from top six sources shrink in H1. Next, US INC rises, India trade barrier issues with USTR. Next, economists see 35 basis point rate hike then a pause. Some expects a slight reduction in GDP growth forecast. Next, AI now flying more on metro to metro routes. Existing unviable one has part of domestic strategy. Next, rural housing plan may get rupees 28,000 crore booster infusion. Next, China plus one, low labor cost and growing workforce give India the edge. Then on page number 2, in that China plus one strategy, India API firms start to reap benefits. Next, Amazon India to shut down distribution unit. Next, Adani outlayer has equity raising by India INC dips. Next, Petchem next battleground for Adani Reliance. Next, Hyperpure may be act in the whole for Zomato. Next, WhatsApp data of 500 million user may be up for sales, says report. Next, Godrej Properties plans to rupees 8,000 crore housing project in Delhi by March. Next, Ola Uber driver freed over 5% conveyance fees on each ride. Then on page number 3, in that Swiss challenge for LIC's sale of Reliance Cap debt fails. Find binding bids for Reliance Capital assets expected today. Next, Indigo can wait lease Boeing's 777 for a year. Next, Nippon Life Holscos to meet RBI IRDA today. Then next, Volvo each takes bus ride to post-pandemic recovery. Then we comes to page number 4, in that India must focus on global good Viva G20 presidency PM. Next, Kirti panel may recommended price gap for gas from state-run firm. Next, old pension scheme revival to burden future taxpayers. Next, India eyes small nuclear reactor for clean energy transition. Next, PT Usha said to become first woman president of IOA. Next, gold import fall 17% in April October to $24 billion. Next, rupee should establish once US reduces speed of rate hike. Nobel winner. Next, withdraw export duty on bauxite miners body to FM. Next, 6 days after violence, Assam lift travel restriction to Malaysia. Then next, IDBI to continue has private sector bank after sale. FinMin says government 15% reduce stake will be considered public holding. Next, FDI is equity from top 6 sources contract in H1. US in INC red flags restriction in trade with India. Next, lenders await government guarantee for SR. Next, WTO calls for free trade in good to cope with climate change. Next, on page number 6, in that government can access personal data in emergency MOS. Chandrasekhar says proposed board will not have any government officer on it. Next, moderate pace of monetary tightening India INC to RBI. Next, FPI buys rupees 31,630 crore worth share is in November. Next, reinsurers asked to retain 50% of business underwritten in India. Next, liberal eligibility key criteria in largest coal mines auction. Then on page number 7, in that electing to be free and fair, the SC observation on the appointment of election commissioner have focused attention on one of India's most respected institutions. Aditi Padhanis looks at the controversy. Next, of development, inflation and regulation. Next, brush with canvas wealth of states. Next, big issues in the election of MCD. Next, on page number 8, in that we are hiring, says Musk. Twitter 2.0 to have payment feature. Stephen King, Musk a visionary but a triple fit for Twitter. Next, world's longest serving president wins sixth term. Next, subsidies are for poor will change policy. Malaysia PM. Next, North Korea aims to have world's strongest North Force. Next, Iran bank manager attends to women sans hijab shaked. Next, Yatran politicians lose as youngsters win big in Nepal. Next, Camilla scraps traditional norms of ladies in waiting. Next, down with XI, open defiance has protest erupt across China. In the next, industrial profit drop has COVID surges price fall. Next, Pakistan holds overseas payment for e-gaming. Army rejects claims about Jen Bejwa family assets. PTI senator arrested for Twitters against a military official. Next, rise in secret taxes. First, EU-wide vaping charges on card. Next, on page number 9, it's an article section in that early warning for reform. Next, a turn in the tide. Next, what align the investors and firms. Next, growing across nations and continent. Next, hover bravery and black bag jobs. Next, on page number 10, it's an in that smart fastener are not just nuts and bolts. Next, machine plus man equals to art. Next, I advise startup to think beyond the possible. Next, on page number 11, in that magazine held liable for delayed delivery. Next, elegant tax saving investment with your financial targets. Then on page number 14, in that better grip on future for tire stocks, trade on easing import cost demand. Higher raw material prices has had punctured sequentially margin of major tire market. Next, India's sectoral valuation outstrip Asian counterpart. Next, equity re-rate unlikely before second half of 23. Credit Suisse rate higher rates for longer theme triggered significant derating this year. More rate hikes lined up, but yields may have peaked. Next, microfinance sector seen turning a corner. Next, grey market premium of Dharmraj Unipart stopped 20%. Next, plenty of steam left by the dip. Then on page number 15, in that global diesel shortage, India's gain. Next, public credit registry, what's that? Next, spree of trade agreement. Then on page number 16, in that World Cup official soundtrack shows Asia's soft power. Next, Morocco beat Belgium to end 24-year wait. Next, Iran coach slams Kinsman. Then on that much for today. Thanks for watching. Make a good day.